It's Friday night and a Saturday night. It's Saturday night. I was a night wrong there. I've lost today somewhere. It's Saturday night. I think I should maybe just put the beer down. What do you think? Too many beers already, Roy? I've literally only had a mouthful or two, but we'll get through tonight. I have got
What do you mean a mouthful or two? In the half hour that we've been on a call before this, you have drank 6 bottles. What are you saying, a mouthful or two? 6 bottles?
We haven't even been on the phone for half an hour because I was running late.
I know. Well, Auntie Val, how's things? How are you this evening?
Yeah, I saw that comment, Eddie Torney. Less of it. There's no way I'm old enough to be your aunt, that's for sure. Well, Roy's going to be old enough to be your uncle, but I'm not old enough.
No. Just remember, you're older than me. These bands that you're playing tonight, you were in these bands in your 50s, so.
You'd already been in multiple bands and left them by then. You were like away over in England by that stage. Don't start that, Kyle. Good evening, Roy Patterson. Good to see you on with us. Tad Adamson says he's the same as last night. The poll is on, so we're on mute. Can't really give off at you tonight because, to be honest, if I had a chance to watch Liverpool, but I refuse to pay the $14.99 to watch the match. Carl Porter says, good evening, everyone. Joshua Morris says, rub it in, why don't you, Joshua? Looking forward to see what bands looked like before I was born. You just could learn to dislike folk. Joe Jackson says,
what do you mean learn to? I thought we already had.
Keith Johnson is watching. Alan McGraw is watching, as is Joel Jackson. Edward Fellows, good golden oldies night. It is indeed. Eddie Murphy is watching. Roberta and Eddie Baird. Norris Main is also watching. Trevor Monaghan. Uriel is watching. Your adoptive mummy. Ian Nicholson is watching. Billy McMenemy is watching. Ross Campbell, William McCann, and Alan McFall. William Smith and Hyman and Ronnie are watching. Michelle Brown. Michelle, keep watching. You might see yourself. China is, of course, watching. Harry MacArthur is watching in Glasgow. Eddie Torney is watching. The insults are flying early already. Where is my little black book? Trevor Harbinson is watching. Davy Logan, Mary McKee, Keith Weir is watching in Drumore. Lynn Fitchie. Ricky McKinney says, big shout out to my dad, Stephen McKinney, going through a bit of a hard week, put a smile on his face, play Drumahegels. Do you know what? I think I might be able to manage that. Gordon Porter is watching, as is Lindsay Dunbar, and Johnny is watching in Donaghadee. Alan Massey is watching. Hello, Alan. Billy Gilmore and Margaret are both watching in Port Glasgow. Brian Emerson is watching. David Gray is watching from Staunch Erskine. Sylvia Slane is in Cookstown. Sharon Freeman is watching. I hope you're not in the gin, Sharon. Steve McKinney is watching from Ballymoney. Alistair McKellar in Edinburgh. Nigel Sinton is watching. He says, hello, Tracy Pett. Is that to me or is that to somebody else? I'm not Tracy.
As you say, your name's not Tracy, aren't you, Val?
Keith McKinney is watching. He says, hi, everyone. Hope we see the Sharpshooters tonight. Do you know something? I don't think so, but they might be in a clip that I'm not aware of. Amy Norton says, hi, hope you're all keeping well. Hi, Amy. Glad to join us.
Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yes, glad to have you with us back again. Hope you enjoy the music. Trevor Monaghan's watching. Gavin Hazlitt, Adrian McIlvenna, Lisa from Newton Abbey. Poor wee Lisa. We're going to get her on here someday. Someday she's going to come on with us, Egypt. Al McElravy and Hazel McGrath are both watching from Coleraine. Edward Hunt is watching from Gloucestershire in England. Trevor Harbinson is watching from and says good evening from all of Crumlin Isle Boys Flip Band. Have you them all in the living room, Trevor? There is a curfew or restriction on. You shouldn't be more than 6, or are they from 2 households or something like that there? I haven't been out the door. It's not fair at all. Let's get her started.
Can I just say a big hi to Tim?
Yes, you got.
Well done getting out of hospital, mate. Hope you're recuperating well, and hope your father is looking after you.
Hope you've been spoiled, basically. Now, let's get a wee taster of what we're going to be watching the whole night. This is a small clip I was sent a couple of weeks ago, so I said that the next time we had an oldies night, we include it, and I have to say, I struggled today, absolutely struggled, because there were so many clips I wanted to watch with you and to share with you. And I just didn't have enough time. I've got over an hour of solid music playing here on the list, and it's just not enough time. Okay, so we need to have more oldie nights. So there definitely will be, we'll maybe even have one next week or something. We'll see. We'll get some more arranged soon. So the first one is a little clip from 1996. Believe it or not, it's in Portrush although it is a couple of Belfast bands who are down. It's the Junior Lounge Parade down in Portrush, their day away. And featured in this very short clip is Ballycohen, Balnafie, and the Lord Carson Accordion. Watch the fun that Lord Carson are having. I think they maybe had a wee beverage on the bus on the way down. Really wee short clip, but it's just a wee taster for what we're going to have. The rest of the clips this evening are slightly longer, but hopefully not that long. To be honest, the time will fly by as we're watching them. I'm going to get through a few more of the text messages because I'm losing ones here completely. Caroline Hughes is watching, Wesley Runa Parkhill, Joy Cullen, Lyndon Neely, Russell Miller is watching. We might have no, maybe they're not. I don't know. I can't remember whether I kept that one in or not. David Jackson is watching in Penrith, Cumbria. Jim McGraw's watching. Jim Stout is watching from Donaghadee. Hopefully Mandy is with you, Jim. Joy Cullen is watching. And Hyman says that Ronnie says hello to Portrush, from Portrush to everyone. Where are we gadding about today, Anne? Because she's always flying around the country somewhere. Nathan Logan is watching from Ballyclare. Nigel Sinton says, hello, Valerie, and hi, I have got it right. Well, you've got the word right. I don't know about the spelling right enough. Wesley Rooney is watching from Tullyalley in Londonderry. Billy and Irene Sheen are watching in Airdrie. David Gibson missed us on Friday. Hope you had a great show. We did indeed. It was a great show with Lisa's Picks, and it's available to watch on playback as well through both Facebook and YouTube. Jonathan Courtney is watching. Davy Semple is sitting with a few beers. Johnny Walker is watching. William Callahan. Robert Goldsmith wants to know who is babysitting Eddie in China tonight. I don't know, whoever it is. They have their hands full. Ryan McGuinness is looking forward to this. Philip Mackay says, evening, folks. Michelle hopes she doesn't see a picture of herself. There might very well be. Alistair Nett says, good evening, watching again from East Belfast. Good to see the Glens are holding up the league again. I'm more interested in the Liverpool score, which I have on my pinned to my phone. Jane Morris is watching, and Andrew's in from Kilkeel. Stephen Ramsey is watching, and of course it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Bubbles. We'll include you in our birthdays, so let us know all of the birthdays that we missed last night, because we missed them completely last night. Jimmy Morgan is watching Great Yarmouth. Great to have you. Jennifer Ferris is watching in Donaghadee. Auntie Val, yes, I saw that the first time, Eddie. You didn't need to repeat it. Jimmy Galloway is watching. Janet Bailey is watching in Liverpool. Jason Gibson is here. Yes. Irvine wants to know, can you please play some Bailey's Mills some night from Irvine? Did we not play him last night? We did. Jim Gibson is watching, as is Jacqueline Carmichael. Russell Miller says me, so we take it his watching. David Sheridan says, evening, everyone, just in from walking the dog. Is that a euphemism for something else, David? David Johnson says, good night. Don Savage says, yippee yee. Who? There you go. That's exactly what the message says. John Murdoch is watching. Marlon Lowe says, hi, Valerie and all. Denise McLaughlin is watching. Hi, Denise. Adrian Ovena is wondering, is it on YouTube? Yes, it is on YouTube. It is on Ulster Bands Forum channel. Just take a look for Ulster Bands Forum channel. Same as last night. William Mark Gibson is watching. Good evening, William. Vivian McCoy. Vivian, I think you'll see yourself this evening too. James King is watching in Larne. Marlon Rose says, can you say hi to my wee daughter, Neve? Thank you. Hiya, Neve. Hope you're watching. Well, of course you're watching because your mum's watching. So, like, hiya, Neve. Jill Strawbridge is watching from Cole Rain, Jackie Mullen, Lisa Gates are watching, as is Davy Hagan, Brian Goody, and the team looking forward to tonight. That's Brian. Yes, that's Brian Goody is looking forward to tonight. Don Savage is from the big city of Castle. My goodness, they're from everywhere.
Had a score update there. Liverpool's getting beat 1-0.
So they are.
Come on.
Listen, it's only
Come
lent.
on, Andy Valerie.
It's only lent to them.
And Jordan and Rebecca are watching as well.
Oh, right, are they?
And
how did they manage to miss their 14 takes? I will get them.
Rebecca says I've basically got a resting bitch face because she saw me in Poundland and she spoke to me and I said, why didn't you stop or say something like that? She says, look grumpy.
It's the way he looks all the time, Rebecca.
Had a mask on.
Right, let's get a bit more music now. I've got through the text, because if I don't get through the text, then they disappear and I can't access them anymore, and I don't like doing that. So we are going to go to 1995. So our last clip was 1996. This is 1995. Now, I have picked out some clips from Belfast parades, some clips from Ballymoney parades, some clips from Portadown parades, Glasgow, all over the place, right? So it's not a full parade. So for instance, the Belfast parade runs well over an hour. So we would only have it on its own and nothing else. So picked out a couple of clips of it, maybe a couple from somewhere else, just to give it a bit of variation over the night, okay? But what I will do is I have noted all the different clips that I'm playing tonight, and then next week, if we do it on Saturday night, we will make sure that we carry on with those parades. So eventually, to keep you watching, it's like one of those thrillers, you know, where they end the show on a cliffhanger so that you have to watch the next week. So this is going to be our cliffhanger. You're only going to see a couple of parts each parade, so you join next week. This first one is 1995, and it is the 12th parade in Belfast.
It's Ballymoney parades?
No, it's no Ballymoney. It's actually the UTV coverage of it with the commentary running, and to be honest, there's sometimes I cringe when I hear this commentary, but we can all look back on it now and laugh. So here's 1995. Let me know who the bands are, because they're all Belfast, so half the times I don't know who they are.
Welcome to the 12th on the Orange Order's commemoration of the 305th anniversary of the Williamite victory at the Battle of the Boyne in 1690. The Loyalist Prisoners' Welfare Campaign are at the front of the procession and say they have the agreement of the Orange Order and will walk as far as Tate's Avenue. Well, this was the scene in the Belfast city centre just after 10:30 this morning as the head of procession led the way to the field in Edenderry, where an estimated 16,000 Orange men will gather. Earlier, there was a significant air of tension in the wake of several confrontations over the last few days, most recently, of course, this morning's Ormeau Road residents' protest. A County Grand Lodge colour party departed for the field under the direction of Dawson Bailey, who for the last time carried the Harry Bird's memorial standards. County Grand Master Robert Salters was joined by the County Grand Lodge officers, as well as guests from Scotland, Canada, New Zealand and Ghana. The Junior Colour Party, representing the Ballymacarra district, displayed flags from Orange jurisdictions worldwide. They were supported by the Miller Memorial Flute Band, who have been parading with the county for over 20 years. Well, that was half an hour ago. Now you join us live on a day of considerable historical significance for the Orange Order as they celebrate and commemorate the 200th anniversary of their formation, which followed the Battle of the Diamond in County Armagh on the 21st of September 1795. Well, that sense of anxiety I referred to earlier appears to have eased now as the procession makes the journey to Edenderry, where they'll hear the traditional 12th resolutions. We're just outside the BBC in Belfast, and just up the road, incidentally, the headquarters of the Grand Lodge of Ireland, the House of Orange, is situated. The 9 districts of the County Grand Lodge of Belfast, it was 10 until Districts 7 and 8 amalgamated recently, have a 5.5-mile walk from the city centre to the field. From here on the Dublin Road, they march into Shaftesbury Square, Bradbury Place, Lisburn Road, Balmoral Avenue, and then up the Malone Road for a 2:15 service of Thanksgiving, which will be conducted by the Reverend William Malcolmson, the Deputy County Grand Chaplain. with me in the commentary box this morning is Clifford Smith, an expert on Orangeism, and it's quite an occasion today with the weather being so fabulous.
Well, there are very few gentlemen in suits this morning. Most of the brethren are walking in their shirt sleeves.
Anderson's Crimson Star, LOL number 944.
That style of collarette sometimes causes a little bit of confusion. It looks remarkably like an apprentice boy's one, but the reason comes on the banner.
And behind the red taxi there is the Hillview flute band from Belfast. Plenty of drums, of course, on show, Clifford, but the Lambeg drums, are they allowed in the Belfast procession now?
There haven't been Lambeg drums in the Belfast procession for many, many years now. One of the reasons, of course, is the length of the procession, and the other reason is the pace that the Lambeg drummers walk at.
Duke of Manchester's Invincibles following the parade down the Dublin Road here in Belfast, and a bit of an accident there. The camera, luckily for him, just missed, because he would have got a lot of abuse about that from the family. Not supposed to drop it. He knows it too.
A lot of the brethren here have their flowers up on their collarettes.
Just a little short break here on the Dublin Road. There's many thousands, well over 10-15,000 marching today, so there's going to be the odd traffic jam naturally. And there's a women's lodge here, Clifford, and of course growing by the day.
Yes, a large number of women in their own association want to walk in the Orange Men's demonstration, and most Orange Men are most welcoming to this new development, and this ladies' lodge is very, very well turned out, as you can see.
I believe the policy was introduced by some of the foreign Orange Order neighbours from the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, no, historically women have walked in the Orange demonstrations in Scotland for many, many years now. They have a more liberal approach than the Orange Men in Ireland had.
That's White Rock Temperance. And that is Robert Salter's own lodge, the County Grand Master. Clifford?
Robert Salters performed the function of County Grand Secretary of Belfast for many, many years, and has recently attained to the high office and dignity of County Grand Master.
Glenavy Chosen Few with Glenavy Church on the banner. LOL 1963.
This reminds us that so many of the Belfast Orange Lodges had their roots in rural Ulster in the 19th century.
Shankill LOL, 400 to lead, 1843, and then transferred to the Agnes Street Orange Hall.
The Shankill Road, often regarded as the heartlands of Protestant Belfast, suffered very, very badly during the redevelopment of Belfast. Many Shankill Road people have moved to other parts, suburbs of the city, or down even to Bangor.
Ballymoney approaching Dublin Road, and there's a noticeable increase in the level of applause here for obvious reasons.
Ballymoney come from East Belfast, but they come down the controversial Ormo Road, and there's clear relief that they've been able to reach the main procession without any serious problems today.
Yes, despite vigorous objections from the residents of the Lower Ormo, they did walk their usual route to the City Hall this morning. Some children there, very young children here, and wouldn't maybe know the difference at the moment between an orange man and an orange juice, but no doubt they will do in the future.
Well, as the poems of John Hewitt reveal, his little poem on the 12th of July and indeed on the 11th night, these demonstrations make an impact even on the young minds of children.
Cromwell's Ironsides, of course, Oliver Cromwell, another significant figure.
A very important figure historically, but a controversial one as far as Ireland is concerned. As far as the British and Protestant people in Ulster are concerned, he was a hero.
That's a fact. My goodness, that was, believe it or not, that was nearly 9 minutes of a clip, which just went by like that. So we've got another clip from the Belfast 12th in 1995 later on the show, and then next week we'll have some more bits of it. So if your band or your family or members in that there weren't in that clip, hopefully they'll be in some of the other ones. I'm just interested in listening to that there. First of all, Ballymoney coming down the Ormo Road. When was the last time they managed to parade down the Ormo Road? That's some amount of years. Do you know what I mean? That must have been quite around the last few years of it. And also, as someone said, not very many large colour parties neither. So obviously, it's always funny the way that you see the fashions that bands have gone through. So obviously, large colour parties have become a more recent fashion. Thank you to all of them for watching out, or for pointing out the names of some of the bands, because Brian Goody says the Carson was the last band to get down the Ormo Road and were attacked at the bridge. But of course, it's always the poor victims, isn't it? It's never anybody else but the poor victims. And of course, mentioning at the beginning, our Dawson Bailey is such a wonderful gentleman, such a big loss when he passed away. Dawson was a wonderful man. I sat on many committees with him. He was really, really great. Believe it or not, I was actually asked to do the commentary one year on the BBC programme. The only problem was I would probably end up falling out with them because I wouldn't want to talk over the bands, and I would have give off because they weren't showing enough of the bands. Like, you know, the bands people come to see. Don't tell the Orange that. But now, where are we going to go to next? We're going to go to Portadown this time. This is the Portadown 12th in 1989. I don't believe it's all of it. We've got about 8 minutes of it, but it'll be good to get watching way back. So this is an even older one. It's 89. I just caught a glimpse there of Mark U. Pritchard. Lisa, are you still watching? Did you see Mark drum major in front of that last band there, the accordion band? I think it might have been Enniskillen. I'm not sure. Is there as many pipe bands still in Portadown district? Because there was quite a lot in that one there, probably more than I'm used to seeing kind of in Portadown parades nowadays. Those are brilliant. China made a really good point that there's going to be some tears watching with, and seeing people who are no longer with us. And I do apologise if that does affect you in that way, and if you see some relatives unexpectedly. So, but I think it's lovely that we still have those videos that we can see those people by and remember them doing something that they loved. Not so long ago, my mum had hooked out an old family party from many, many years ago that they had out in one of the garages at home, and all my aunts and uncles are dancing around, and some of them staggering a little bit, and like they're having a whale of a time. And it was, even though they're all past now, it was so lovely to get to see them enjoying themselves and the way that they were.
Was that in 1989 in your 50th birthday party?
Listen. There is more names going down in this book, I'm telling you, for these insults and this anti-fat. I'm not even an aunt to anybody. My brother and sister need to get their asses in gear because I'm not even an aunt.
Well, hang on a minute.
Yes.
If I've adopted mummy, that means you've got all my sisters.
No, you're my big brother.
Which means, but you've all my sisters, which means they've all got kids. I've got kids. That means you're an aunt. So Auntie Val. You mean you're a great aunt as well?
Go and get the tablets, taking sunshine. Go and get the tablets this evening. I've never even met your kids, never mind your sisters. How can I be their aunt to their kids? It's madness.
You don't have to make someone to be an aunt.
Back to sensibility again. This is...
Okay, am I taking over then?
This is going back to 1989. Oh, well, we're staying in 1898. 1989. The last clip was 1989, and this is 1989, but closer to home for me. So hopefully some of the local people will recognise a few of these bands. It's more kind of like North Antrim, County Londonderry bands, but hopefully you'll enjoy this little clip from the Voy Accordions Parade in 1989. That's back, Roy. Oh, stop there.
They're back.
That last band, believe it or not, was Ballymoney. Some change since then.
I thought it was Ballyrashane.
Ballymoney, my goodness, what a difference! What a difference! The speed that they got. Now I know that the videos do kind of make them a little bit faster than they were in reality, but they were fast. We just didn't realise it at the time. And I mean, when you see some of it, I saw a clip, I can't remember whether I included it or not, like Armagh Fusiliers, they were flying! Absolutely flying! Oh, crazy. Now, the next one, Roberta Baird had contacted me last week to ask if we could show a little bit of lambics for Emily, her dad. We didn't last week, but I came across this wee clip and I thought, this looks like fun, so I slotted it in this evening. This is what they call, keeping in the oldest style, the Lambig drum fight in Banbridge of 1964. Roy was only at secondary school then.
And you had been left school about 30 or
What's your
40
neck
years.
off? Because there's an echo. And play the clip and don't be saying how old I was. I was only a twinkle in 1964.
The country town of Banbridge in Ulster. I wish I could tell you just what kind of a thing we're about to witness, but the fact is I really don't know. All I can say is it's a sort of musical prize fight, and a heavyweight contest at that. It's a contest in which the contestants sometimes get very highly emotionally charged, and it's likely to end up in the sort of fight which isn't musical at all. Well, one of the champions is just having a final tuning up over here, and let's go and have a look at him.
After that last workout, the champ is fighting fit and ready to be drummed down to the scene of the fight by his stablemates. They've all had their moments of glory. Some of them are 20 or 30 years old, and they're fighters still. Most drums have at least 3 interested parties. 2 of them at least are likely to be going along on every outing. The drummer, the owner or promoter of the drum, and the maker. These outings of the Lambeg drums are full of forms, courtesies, and conventions. A duel between 2 drummers is called a stick-in, and you never hold a stick-in by a man who's got a drum with the same maker's name on it as your own. It's a stick-in that we're about to see. The idea of the contest, which may go on for hours, is for one drummer to drum the other into confessing that he is the better man with the better drum. The skins are stretched goat skin. Fully prepared, they cost around £5 apiece. A man who finds he's playing on a hopelessly inferior drum may well explode it deliberately. He pierces it with the end of a drumstick so that he may finish the contest on a better instrument. Some men have been known to burst 5 drums in a single afternoon. As they make their way down to the battleground, the noise is like nothing else you've ever heard, as if some almighty diesel express were roaring through the air overhead. And every man is puffed and veneered with pride, hearing no sound but the beating of his own drum. But if they made this kind of noise in an English town, they'd probably be in jail within the hour.
Well, the stick-in is about to begin. On my right is the drum Lord Carson, played by David Simpson, the winner of 3 cups this year, and he weighs about 11 stone. And on my left is John Heron, who comes from Banbridge and who won 7 cups last year. He's playing the brother William Johnson, and he weighs 13 stone. All right, off you go.
drummers are great rivals. They travel many, many miles every Saturday throughout the summer, and they like to meet each other. In fact, if there was a crowd, they'd pick their own man out from among them and get a match with him. Well, in drums, you must have an equal balance both of man and drum. A good drummer and a good drum.
Now, what is a good drum?
Well, a good drum is one that's giving out plenty of volume and a musical tone.
What do you call a musical tone?
A nice sharpness combined with weight.
And what about a good man?
He has to be both quick, accurate, have stamina, and put a big amount of weight into the drums.
Now, when you're in a contest like this, how do you know when one man is getting on top? Suppose you're actually in the contest. How do you know how you're doing?
Well, the drummer himself does know. If he hears his opponent drumming, he knows he is behind. If he can cover the sound of the other drummer, he knows he's on top.
Decided to call it a day for a minute, have you? You're beginning to feel the strain yet. Let's see, according to my watch, it's 5 o'clock. You've been going about an hour. Now, you're beginning to feel the strain yet, John?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Where do you feel? Did you feel in the legs at all?
No,
I know you go like this quite a bit.
In the arms and the soldiers. In
the arm of the
yes.
soldiers.
Yes.
What about you, David?
I'm starting to feel the back a bit sore.
You're what?
I'm starting to feel the back a bit sore.
You are? Whereabouts did it get you? On the shoulders here, or?
A bit lower down.
Does it? Well, but you feel fit to go on for a bit yet. Who do you think's getting the better of it?
I think it's fairly even.
Fairly even? You admit that, do you? What about you, John?
It's hard not to drum, but I think I'm a bit on top now at the present.
You think you're a bit on top, do you? Well, we'll see how it goes over the next half hour. Looks as if it's going on forever. And the funny thing is, you know, that when you first arrive here and you hear this row, it sounds like the most awful noise on earth. But after a little while, it gets in the blood.
Did they not tell us who won? How could they put us through that and not tell us who won it? Oh my goodness. Did I hear right? Did he say that they had been going for an hour and then they took a break and then they got back into it again? Who could play a Lambeg nowadays for over an hour and still keep playing? Full pelt too, and some speed. Oh my goodness, that was class. Really enjoyed that there. I always thought mistakenly that the Lambeg contests nowadays were based on the tone of the drum and the sound of the drum and all that kind of stuff. But is that a different type of contest or something? I don't know. Jason Gibson says it was a cliffhanger. It was. I want to know who won. I want to know who won. Oh, that was brilliant. So anyone from Glasgow or Scotland watching, and I know that there's a few names on there I recognise from there. So this is from 1987. Hopefully you will recognise some people that you know. I think you might even recognise a few Northern Ireland bands as well, because it is the Big Walk in Glasgow. And as I say, it's from 1987. We are back. Was that your band there, Harry? The very last one there, Queen Elizabeth. Oh, I'm really, really pleased we got that clip in for you there. And thank you, Harry, for naming all the bands, because I didn't recognise half of them. The only one I recognised was Pretty Man at the very beginning. Unfortunately, the sound not great in that clip because somebody was recording it, obviously, in a mobile phone off their TV. Which means that the quality was a wee bit iffy. But what I have started to do is, as you all know, the Gordon Corbett collection is here and it's millions. So I have actually managed to start, I think I got about 10 DVDs ripped this week. So they'll be starting to come online shortly, and then we can have more oldies nights. And funny, Russell, I thought that Proud of the Band might have been in that wee clip from Ballymoney. They weren't, but when I saw your message, I do remember where I know there definitely is a retro Proud of the Band. Whether you're in it or not, I don't know. Jackie and Colin and all those guys are in it, but I don't know whether you're in it or not. But anyway, we're going to play the next clip. This is for all the accordion fans out there. Loads of accordion bands in that Glasgow clip, but Harry, am I right in saying the vast majority of them are no longer with us, which is really, really sad when you think about it. And to be honest, of this next clip from Ballymoney, there's quite a few of these bands no longer with us, unfortunately, as well, which is also really sad. But let's have a look at the next one. This is from 1989, back to the Vow Accordions Parade again in Ballymoney. I warn you all in advance, it's all accordions. If you want to go and make yourself a cup of tea for the next 9 minutes, that's fine. But while we're watching this, give me in all of your birthdays. We're going to do the birthdays after this one. So give us all of your birthday clips. Will you believe it or not? It is 9:10. We have been sitting here for an hour and 10 minutes watching these clips, and we could sit and watch another hour and 10 minutes quite easily. But this clip is from the Vow Accordions Parade, as I say, in 1989 in Ballymoney. And although I may not have been born at this this juncture in time, there may be someone very, very like me in one of these bands. Enjoyed that, a few of you, I can say. Penny Johnson, yes, you could just see about the top of your head, but I didn't notice Mr. Ken Stewart there playing piccolo, I believe, and a big 5-year walking in the back of Carntall as well. Davy Bird walking in Dunloy and a few other ones through the bands there. Recognise them all. Who was it says? Jason, was it said about, when family and friends been involved in, full communities? And I think it is still the case. I think we're maybe spread out more, and I think there's too many middle class prods who think they're too good for Band Parade, which is a pity, because I believe this scene has more to offer than any other scene that your children could be involved in. They will have experiences they've never had. They will make friendships. They will make connections. They will learn a talent. They will develop a skill. They will develop confidence. They will not be fazed by performing in front of people.
Learn how to down a bottle of Buckfast in one go.
Alcohol skills, but seriously, I mean, you learn respect and working with others, and they talk about all these skills that you need for the workplace. I mean, working with others, confidence, respect, presentation, all of those things, self-appearance, all of those things, they're getting them automatically from the band scene, and they transfer so easily. I probably wouldn't be in the job that I am these days if I hadn't been the secretary of a band and been thrown in the deep end trying to organise trips to Scarva and places like that there, and the organisation of that. And, it all manifests itself in later life. People that turn up their nose at the band scene are turning up their nose at the wrong thing. It seems to be the in thing to do now, is to ridicule the band thing, which I think is terrible, absolutely terrible. Now, birthdays. I've got only 3 birthdays. Is that all of you that have birthdays? Is there something badly wrong? Did I miss any? I think I might have missed one. I think I missed someone saying that was a birthday. Apologies about that there, but I was too glued to the accordion bands. So happy birthday to Bubbles, aka Stephen Ramsey, who is in Holland. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, celebrating his birthday, but happy birthday to you, Bubbles. Also to Mrs. Gloria McMenemy, who is watching. She will be 70 years young tomorrow. Gloria watches the show every week. Gloria, we are delighted to have you with us. We hope you're enjoying it, and best wishes for your birthday tomorrow. And that comes from all of us, and of course, son Billy.
Is that your younger sister?
Sorry?
Is that your younger sister having her 70th birthday?
And then finally, the last birthday that I'm aware of is to Vivian McCulloch, her birthday is on Wednesday, and she is the heart and soul of Pride of Glenavy Accordion Band. So happy birthday to all of you, and hope you have a wonderful day, whatever you may be doing. David Bird, 64 on Tuesday. Of course that counts. It has to count tonight, because it'll be too late next week. Happy birthday to you, David, there. That was your birthday gift, seeing yourself going past in a video. So, Jonathan Courtney says, it's sad to see that out of tens of thousands of bands, men and women, can only get approximately 200 online each weekend. They do not know what they are missing. Keep promoting our culture. Jonathan, it's only 200 online live. One of the weekends before the 12th, there was over 400 online live at any one point in time. The thing about it is that whenever you take into all the watches afterwards and the YouTube and all that kind of stuff, some of the video hits are getting like 12,500. And it's not only people from Northern Ireland who are watching, we're getting people from Australia, from Canada, from America, from New Zealand, from all across the world. And that's really what this is for. It's to promote the bands. Elizabeth Jane Young says, Amanda Calder, my daughter, is 32 tomorrow, and she is in Kilkeel as well. So hopefully I've got all the birthdays. Happy birthday to you all. And here is happy birthday from all of us at Ulster Bands Forum, and I'm sure all of the people watching tonight.
And I was muted, of course. Valerie has frozen, so you're stuck with me at the moment until we get Valerie back again. Oh, is she back? Nope, she's not back. Don't know what's up with Valerie's connection in the depths of Coleraine. You know, the internet's just dried out there last week and everything else. And Valerie laid the pipes down for it. Keeps coming back in with a picture of her, but it's frozen. What we'll do in the meantime is we'll go on to the next video that she had lined up, which is the Fermanagh Twills back in 1990. So we're going back up a year now, and there is Cavan, Monaghan, Donegal bands parading, and it's the Tercentenary 1990 parade Fermanagh in Enniskillen. So we'll get that playing now for you.
That's back. I am back. I definitely am. I don't know what
That's us
happened
back and you back.
Hangouts just kicked me off completely. I don't know what they were playing at, but I'm back. Right now, hopefully, I am praying for everything I have that this next clip from the Belfast 12th in 1995 includes at least one of either Ballyhalbert or East Belfast, because otherwise life just won't be worth living any longer. Now, this is 1995 and it is the Belfast 12th. Let me know the bands as you see them because I don't have a clue who they are.
It's the Ormo True Blues.
And two gentlemen in their kilts from Scotland, or three gentlemen indeed, and reinforcing that Scottish dimension we've spoken about before.
Star of the South, LOL 1542.
With that very famous icon of the Ulstermen launching the 1st of July attack at the Battle of the Somme.
Yes, the 36th Ulster Division. They're only about 5 years old. This lodge formed in 1990.
There's a new heritage centre in Newton Ards that celebrates the Battle of the Somme and indeed the whole of the First World War.
Old Boys Flute Band.
Another band from the outskirts of Belfast, but with exquisite musical talent on display.
Beautiful day today, of course, Clifford, and the Orangemen out in strength. But what do Orangemen do in the winter?
Well, that actually brings up an interesting point. There are two types of Orangemen: 12th of July Orangemen, and all the ones that work hard in the winter in committee work and in fundraising.
Belfast Heroes, that's LOL 241, formed in Lisburn at the beginning of the 19th century before transferring to Belfast in 1865.
I often think that those busbies must be torture on a very hot day like this, and quite a weight on top of the head as well. The band's very, very well turned out.
Of course, the sunshine makes a big difference to that.
Well, it certainly looked as if there was a miserable 12th in prospect last night for all the people standing around the bonfires and trying to get them lit.
Warren Young Defenders Flute. Again, a short break. Around 900 orange halls in all there are. And as we mentioned earlier on, the order formed after the Battle of the Diamond, when many Catholics were driven out of the county of Armagh.
Well, there had been quite a struggle for territory at that stage, and the Orange Order arose as a form of Protestant defence in Armagh in the late 18th century.
Green Castle just going through. Quite a lot of cars in the procession, and is everybody entirely happy with that?
It can be a matter of great debate during the winter time, because the cars not only slow up the procession, but as I've experienced, if you're actually walking directly behind it, the exhaust fumes can make life very unpleasant.
Of course, it means that the older members can get to the 12th procession if they can't quite make it on foot anymore.
Well, that's the very important consideration.
Sons of Belfast, LOL 743, and of course this brings out the great shipyard connection with Orangeism, Clifford.
Yes, Belfast Orangeism is largely a working class movement at the present time. It bears the closest comparison with Orangeism in Glasgow, which is also working class in its strength and support.
Over-excitement, the order of the day, with some people, especially the younger members.
Well, you think of the older brethren in the limousines, but very often the limousines are a comfort station for the children as well.
Duncairn Temperance will be appearing in view very shortly. The late Thomas Passmore was a member of this lodge.
He was
indeed. On the banner, and he's a friend of yours, Clifford.
He was a personal friend of mine, and he made a great impact on Belfast County through his faithful Christian witness and service.
And there they are. The lodge was formed in Enniskillen, County Wexford in 1912. Reflecting the all-Ireland nature.
Only brethren or personalities who are now deceased are allowed to have their portraits on the banner. No contemporary figures can have their portraits painted on an orange banner.
Which sadly means they don't get to see it.
Precisely. Their reward is elsewhere.
Methodist Church defenders just following the flute band there, and just a moment ago we just didn't quite see it, but they were dancing the banner. And is that recommended?
It's frowned upon, but it's a very sunny day, and the tension has lessened somewhat.
LOL 2046, North Belfast, formed in 1896.
One of the problems that Orangemen have is the weight of their banners. This is a fairly radical solution. I wonder if the gear was made in someone's backyard. I hope it all holds together.
Well, unless the taxi driver does a lot of mountain biking, I imagine you're right. That'll catch on, no doubt, in years to come. A few welders will make a few pounds out of that, I would imagine. Again, an example of the youth here today, and he can't be much more than 4 or 5 years of age, and he will feel very much part of this parade today, and that will be a major moment, I suppose, for him.
Yes, and sociologists would say that he's being integrated into the whole Orange folk culture and phenomena. Very important role that the Orange Order plays in regard to young people and children.
think I hear an accordion there, Clifford, and I think this is the Blue Star Accordion. You know them quite well.
Yes, they're a famous band from York Street. A reminder that the accordion's not a popular instrument among Loyalist and Orange bands in Ulster. It's much more popular in Scotland, but fine all the same.
Have you ever heard, like,
They said, at least said one bit of sense, one sensible comment the whole way through that. The accordion's not popular. Well said, that man.
well, I think you'll find when you look at the clips that we've had tonight, the accordion is very popular, actually, Clifford. Oh my goodness. The rubbish that those guys come out with just astounds me. What do orange men do in the winter? We hibernate. We go into, you know, like like the bears. We go into a cave somewhere. You don't see us to the 12th of July the next year. For goodness sake. And that banner that was going to take off, that was just going to be copied by everybody. It was going to be the trend in the years. Well, 15 years later, I still haven't seen another one of them. So 15 years, 25 years, still haven't seen another one. 35 years.
What banner was that?
The one they had in the back of the taxi. Did you not see that? No? And then, of course, his final comment. Clifford Smith. That's all I can say. Now, let's see if we can see who is in our next clip. This is from Scarva, and it is taking place in 1990. A couple of wee clips here from Scarva just to try and cover a few areas, and we'll see what were they on about the car in winter. No, it was they were on about what do orange men do in winter, like what do you think we do. And then the car was the cab, the one, you know, with the banner poles in the back of it and all that. That was
there's quite a few with the poles now in the back of cars, in the back of vans, and on trailers as well that don't have enough.
In Ballymoney.
No, it's in Belfast. Because a lot of the lodges don't have enough members to carry the banners as well as the GAT, so the older members, and they've put it on. There's quite a few up in Belfast. Have got it on trailers and back of cars and vans.
It's only them weakling Belfast cultures, like you know, he's having the muscles like us good country folk. We can carry them. Right, let's go to Scarva in 1990.
On the left of St. Mulno, as we see it, is the County Grand Master, St. Gardner. The chaplain's walking behind, and the banneret of Clonderkey District carried by St. Walker. Is Ballyray, Point defenders from Killilay. Clonderkey Sons of Ulster flute band, proudly wearing their new blue and grey uniforms. True Blues flute band lead the last preceptory in Banbridge district. The Wishful Master, Jim Finch. There he is, just beside the sword bearer, along with the rest of the district officers. Market Hill Pipe Band lead the first preceptory. The John Hunter Memorial Accordion Band. The Accordion. The Loyal Sons of Bina, flute band from Newry. And a fine picture on the banner of Lincoln Chain, RBT number 997. Star of Liberty, RBT number 95, with a very distinctive embroidered banner, one of the most beautiful banners on parade today. They're accompanied by Black Skull flute band. The Western Mulligan Pipe Band. being applauded all the way to the field. Flute band. And of more fine defenders. The accordion. The Derry Lee Flute Band leading Abram's Chosen Few, RBP number 1107.
I'm still watching the accordion band before the last foot band. I have a wee delay in mine. So that was 1990 in Scarva. Some crowds, isn't there? I think that's why I don't. There's just too big a crowd. I can't get seeing everything. Just far too nosy. But what I do have to do this evening is to give a shout out to a young gentleman who is watching and has been very pissed off that I haven't said hello to him as yet. So Josh Miller, this is especially for you, okay? Tell your daddy he needs to get back to bands and to take you along with them, okay? Josh is 8, so it's about time. Either daddy or maybe it's Granda Russell. I don't know. It could be. Right, our next clip is still the same year in Scarva, and this is just a small section. I think this maybe finishes off the parade. I'm not sure, but this is the remainder of the clips that they had from 1990 in Scarva.
Guy in the middle of the Portadown Defenders flute band. Just down accordion. And the Pride of the Birches. The Armagh True Blues flute band. The Ballyray Point Defenders from Killylay. Is one of the very few embroidered banners on a parade. Hunter River Memorial Flute Band. The Sons of Bina Flute Band from Uri. Lincoln Chain RBP number 997. Western Mulligan Pipe Band.
Oh no, I was on mute there. I'm back apparently. Right, I'm getting summoned by the pupsters, so it's obviously coming to 10 o'clock. What time is it? 3 minutes past. Hey, you can't beat them. You cannot beat them. Now, last tune of the night, I'm afraid, and this is one that has been requested quite a few times over the last few weeks, so I couldn't not include this in our oldies program. So thank you to you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed this evening's oldies. The numbers have been great in terms of people watching, and please do join us again next week. I'm not too sure who's picking it on Friday night, and we'll see. We can maybe have another wee oldies night on Saturday as well. But in the meantime,
I thought Saturday night was my night.
Oh, you're going to do Saturday night?
Yeah, you said for me to do Saturday night. Not having 2 weekends of oldies. One weekend of oldies is enough for me to handle.
I would have 6 weekends of oldies if I got the chance. But anyway, Roy's going to do Saturday night. I think it is James Johnson who's picking it on Friday night, so we should have 2 good nights of music coming up ahead next weekend. So he is laughing evilly in the background. I just want to warn you now. So a couple of times I was asked for Ulster Young Loyalists Castle Welland, so we're going to finish the show off on them this evening. Keep yourself safe during the week. We will see you on Friday night at 8 p.m. as always, and in the meantime, keep the flutes to the mouth because we're coming to the tune.
It was when England's glorious sun in 1688 was overcast with treason's cloud and popery stood elate, that up arose her Protestants, the peasant and the peer, and vowed the chain of perjure James that they would not dainty wear. They sought them out a prudent chief to guide their heart and zeal, to lead them on that victory might bless their flashing steel. And who so fit to guide that host in all its bright array as William, Prince of Orange, ere he landed at Torbay. Then up arose the mighty chief and left his native shore, and rode upon the stormy waves our freedom to restore. Upon his flag was blazoned forth high fluttering o'er the main, that our religion and our laws he ever would maintain. 'Twas then in gallant style he stood upon the vessel's prow, with victory on his flashing sword and wisdom on his brow. And tens of thousands greeted him upon his natal day, when he, our glorious Orange chief, first landed at Torbay. Come, brethren of the Orange bond, a bond ne'er to be riven. Whene'er we give great William's name, a bumper must be given. For if you'd fire a fou de joie to him who victory won, come prime and load and see you get charge into your gun. The eloquence of bumpers full there's nothing can surpass. There's not expresses kindred soul like friendship's social glass. And thus we give our song and toast with 3 times 3 huzzah, the memory of King William and his landing at Torbay. The memory of King William and his landing at Torbay.